In this episode, we're going to be talking about hair, kids, dating outside of your race, and a whole lot more. Hello and welcome to Where's the Keys At? As you can see today, it looks a little bit different, but I'm going to start by introducing ourselves. So I'm Leanne.
Joe.
Louise.
Terasa.
Michelle.
And today, this is the takeover.
Literally.
So we're here today. We thought it'd be really good just to kind of have a female's perspective on certain kind of topics that are talked about. One of the topics I thought would be really good to kind of start on is about hair. So ladies' hair, we all have it.
Yeah, we do.
Mm-hmm. So one of the questions I kind of wanted to raise was, what roles does your hair play in expressing your individuality?
For me, I wouldn't be any other colour. Like, I love being my red hair. For me, my hair it does, I think, say a lot about my personality. I'm quite loud, I'm quite bubbly. I feel like that expresses straight away. If you don't know me and you see me in the street, people might automatically think, oh, I reckon she's quite got a loud personality, because why would you walk around with the hair that I have?
Yeah.
So
I couldn't see
That's
you
for me.
darkly.
No,
No.
I don't think so now.
No. Yeah, you didn't even tone it down for being bridesmaid.
No, I didn't.
No. No.
No, I
So
didn't.
that's just Louise.
Did you
to
even
say.
attempt to kind of broach the subject on?
No, I wouldn't dare.
No.
Absolutely
No,
not.
please.
No, I didn't say anything, did I?
No.
No, exactly. No, I wouldn't dare. I just know. I know better.
There's no point.
What about you guys? Do you feel like that your hair represents your personality and who you are and stuff?
Not me, no. I think because I'm forever changing, as you well know, at the moment, forever changing my hair.
Yeah.
Up, down, long, short,
Yeah.
curly, straight, different colours. Mind you, not brave
Yeah,
colours.
no.
Just subtle changes.
Yeah.
But I have always forever been useless with doing hair.
Mm.
So it has to be easy maintenance for me,
Yeah.
for sure. But that probably says quite a lot about my personality
Yeah,
too.
yeah. So
Yeah.
that might reflect,
who
you know what I
I am,
mean?
yeah.
Yeah. But
Mine's just always a bob. Louise looks after it with great fuss.
Family's always the worst part, so.
Quite hard though, isn't
Yeah,
it?
Gets
they
my
are.
nerves. Gets my nerves.
What about you?
Yeah, for me, I'd say my hair, it's more convenient now just to be natural with curls.
Yeah.
As I've got older, and I hate to say it, but as I've got older, I have become lazy with the hair. I ain't got the time to be doing it. Like when I used to have it relaxed, honestly, it was all about my hair back then. When Jo used to be my hairstylist, she would be doing it all the time, and I would keep up with the maintenance a lot. But yeah, now it's just easy.
But you've always had lovely hair,
Yeah.
I think. Always had lovely hair. Full. Always. Haven't you?
The difference
Never-
now, though, is products now to 20 years
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah,
Products 20
true.
years ago were just absolutely awful. And it's you there. One type of hair, you had another, and there was like no in between.
Yeah.
So if you had hair that was in between, which let's be honest, our generation was the majority of everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was either way too heavy or way too
Oh,
fluffy
yeah.
or crispy or crunchy or
Yeah.
whatever was it.
But I've got to
so bad.
say, going back to what you said about having your hair relaxed, Leanne, I think that's the worst thing. And I'll never forget, I said to Michelle today, you said to me, I'm telling you now, do not ever get your hair relaxed.
Yeah.
You told me that. And I must have been about 17, I think I was, or 16. And I was like, I know, but I really want it done. And you were like, seriously, you'll be growing that out forevermore. And then what did I do? Go and got it relaxed, had a stupid fringe cut in. And then
It's hard to get rid of the
and
relaxer.
then
It's really difficult.
And then that's the worst thing I'd done because I didn't need it.
We always want what we don't have. And then when you're on the other side of that, like I had the curly perm.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I'll never forget the second time I had it done. So the first time I was 10. Yeah. Walked down to fisticuts. Walked down to fisticuts on my own because, I was so grown and all
They
that.
done
So,
you at 10 years old?
Yeah, and it was like £10.50, I think, back then.
What?
My mum gave
Louise,
permission.
I went far off
They
that.
gave me permission, yeah. But the second time I had it done, it was a woman a couple of houses up, and she missed a whole rod. I don't know how. As a hairdresser now, I look at it, I'm like, how did she miss a whole piece of hair? When I was done, it was a spiral cut. It was really, and I had this one big ass straight piece right in the middle here. So I tried to get her to redo it, and it was all this big fuss. Anyway, I should have just cut that shit at the root, but
Yeah.
but no. So I did that. What did we have back then? Mousse, and gel.
Literally.
Yeah.
And then we were introduced to like black and white wax.
Yeah.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah.
I used to love the
And
smell of
scrunching,
that.
and then you had all these white girls walking around putting baby oil in their hair and
Yeah.
stuff. So much has changed. Because you know you did that too. You know you
Tracy,
did.
do you do so much has changed.
I did not do that.
Some memories.
Right. So it's just lovely to see how products have changed and how they're
Yeah.
mulling now as well, where you've got
Yeah.
products that work for multitudes of different hair types depending on what you're
Definitely now.
looking for.
Things are more accessible now.
Yeah.
Because we only had Julie's.
Yeah.
That was
it.
Yeah, that was the show.
That's all we had. Now you've got like their stock a little bit. Even in the beauty wholesalers now, there's like a little section. Isn't there,
Even
Lou?
smaller.
Yeah.
It's even smaller at the wholesalers, and then is it Boots though now? for
Yeah,
goodness
just-
sake?
yeah.
They need to pick up their game.
Yeah.
They do.
If you go to Boots at Stratford, right, you can go in there and you can get all the Afro products in there. They've got a big
Really?
section of Afro products. Yep. I think you might even be able to buy a relaxer, like in the box or whatever.
Right.
Which I
But-
still think should not be allowed to happen.
Same.
No, because I
agree.
heard it once upon a time. Is this true? You can confirm. It's about 3 or 4% away from hair removal.
Pretty much.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
But the point is, though, you can't just walk into a high street shop and buy a keratin treatment, a straightening kit,
Yeah.
like a professional one.
Yeah.
So why can you still buy relaxing kits?
Yeah.
And I mean, anyone that's done it and done a home box kit and this, that, and the other knows
That's why your
how
scalp
dangerous it can be
burns.
for yourself.
Yeah.
You know, if you've been doing it for years and like people will say, "Oh, I've been doing it and I'm absolutely fine," and that's awesome for you. But I know too many people
Yeah, I
they've
do.
ruined their hair from them.
Yeah, well, I used to actually work in Julie's when I was 14 till I was 16. And honestly, the amount of people that used to come in with scalp problems, hair losses from like all them relaxing kits. And I used to think to myself, oh, I'm never really going to relax my hair. And then obviously I'd done it. So even though I got the warning from you to not do it, I didn't do it out of a box, mind you. But yeah.
But mine, because I've lost some of my hair, as you girls know, but that was traction alopecia.
Traction, okay.
Yeah,
So what does that mean?
So where I used to scrape it back so much, I used to pull it
okay.
back, didn't I, Louise? I used to pull it back.
Yeah, there's different types.
All the
realise
time.
that.
Yeah, because just constant pulling it back and having like jam and things like that,
Right.
like high alcohol products. And when I was first with Russ, I was like, oh no, like, oh my God, like I've got to tell him I've got like alopecia. Like he don't care.
Yeah.
And like I used to have like from Julie's used to have like a little like mascara thing, didn't it? And Louise used to call it my JJ, my Jermaine Jackson. If anyone's seen Jermaine Jackson, have you seen his hairline's basically tattooed on down? She used to do your F's who used to go JJ. Go on.
JJ.
It works miracles.
Right?
Yeah, I tried.
She sent me a thing the other week, didn't you? And it was this lady had her hair up, and it was like reality, and it was a top knot, massive top knot. And no, what was it? Instagram vs reality, and this other lady just had her hair up, and it's just about that, just all straight up like that. I was like, yeah, that's me.
Do you guys look back at your wedding photos? Because obviously I'm the only one that's not married here, but do you guys look back at your wedding photos and think to yourself, oh my God, my hair? Or do you think to yourself, oh yeah, my hair looks, I quite like it, or do you know what I mean? Or what do you...
My hair, so I had extensions put in,
You
and
were
I
really
wanted
dark.
it. Yeah, I was really
Yeah.
dark. I was
Were
almost,
you?
Yeah, almost black.
Yeah.
Were you?
Yeah. I've been through it in the last few years. Black, dodgy blonde, half and half. Now to wherever we are at the moment. But no, I had extensions put in. I do wish I'd done more with it, but I went for a trial with a hairdresser, and halfway through my trial, she went, "Oh, my next client's that you got to go." So I was like,
No.
sacking you off as my hairdresser from there.
way.
Wow.
Yeah. And she was like, "Oh, we'll just figure out on the day." And I'm like, no, we're not doing that.
No.
No chance are we doing that. So
I've
yeah.
actually called clients back in because I didn't feel comfortable. For me, there's no way I'd say that. My gosh.
Mine was, Anita did mine. Mine was up and starched. He won't go nowhere. I took the pins out. Shit didn't move.
You spritz it. Do you remember spritz, that spray?
That's what it was. It was spritzed up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll tell you, it looks really cute. I mean, I look back now, I look at modernisation. I would have probably liked something softer, a little bit more natural.
You go at the
But
time. though,
you
don't
do, and that's exactly
Yeah.
what it was. Plus, I was pregnant, so it's just it
What
kind
were
of
you
went.
when you got married?
Yeah, trying to plan to have kids and plan a wedding
Yeah,
at the same time. We just coincided with each other.
Yeah, just happened.
So, but going back to being rude. So during that time, my first wedding dress try on, I was just like, okay, look, I don't know how big I'm going to be. So I kind of went, I thought, well, some soft, like a little Maid Marian type
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it cuts kind of high. And she basically looked at me and said, no, it's your day. You don't want to worry about the pregnancy. You want to wear a dress for you. So she wanted to squeeze me into like a bodice style dress. And then when I had my makeup done as well, I was trying different things, and I was like, lipstick and stuff, and she was, putting on them. I just want to keep it kind of soft.
Yeah,
and she's like, "Bitch, your wedding day, you should go a bit, a bit dark, a bit brighter. When you want your lips to pop on, I also want to look like me."
Yeah. Do you know what? It's funny you say that.
I always find that weird.
Because Russell on our wedding, he was like, "Do you want me to shave my stubble?" And I was like, no, because you've always, why would you do that? That's so you. He said, "But do you think it looks untidy?" I was like, well, you're like that every day. Like, don't.
No.
Like, you still want to be
you'll look back
you.
at the pictures and you'll be like, "Oh, who is
Yeah, but who are you?"
Yeah, no.
Yeah, you just still want to be you, don't you?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's funny when people come in and they want to maybe grow their hair for the wedding. Perhaps they've had short hair their whole life, and then all of a sudden they want to get married and they'll grow it. And I'm always a bit like, but why though? That's not you. And then they grow it, and then you do hair trials, and they're like, I just don't feel like it's me. And then all of a sudden they want to cut their hair back to being them. Do you know what I mean? You've got to be yourself, really.
Yeah.
So talking of your hair disaster with your pixie fringe and your short bob, when I was 17, because it was my first driving licence photo, I decided to do the posh.
What did you do?
The
The posh like Spice.
pixie bob. Yeah, your old boss did it to me.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
my
Never
God.
forgave him, never went back.
Okay, we need a picture of that on screen. We need a picture of that.
No chance. No, so I went to a hairdresser and I was like, yeah, I want a bob. But at the time my hair was going through a phase of being like, my hair's done some really weird crap over the years. I've been ringlet curly when I was like 15. Then
What, naturally?
Naturally
Wow.
ringlet curly, yeah. I went on holiday to Italy, came back and my mum was like, what the hell happened to your hair? Did you perm it? I was like, no, just went ringlet curly. And then
Lovely.
it went frizzy and thick, and I decided I wanted a bob. But at that time, straighteners weren't a thing,
No,
I
they
don't
weren't.
think. So, yeah, it went out like this.
What did we do before straighteners though?
don't
Like,
know.
well,
I know.
honestly.
People used to iron their hair, didn't they?
Yeah,
they
Used
did.
to,
I
if
can't
you had
remember.
long hair,
But
it
we
would go
used
on
to
the
have,
ironing board.
What are they called? Curling.
And you just hold it and just...
Just
Oh,
have
no,
to
I never
pull it
mastered
down
that.
and then curl it at the end.
Oh, like the babbleless. Them ones, It was,
But when I worked in Julie's, I used to always want to get one of those combs which you can put in the oven.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
then
Like a hot press.
like a hot
I always
press.
wanted to get one of those, and I feel like there was an electric one, but I never got it.
Right.
Yeah, I never got it. But I remember the first time them GHDs come out because
It's like God had been born
my
again.
cousin had a pair. Was that?
God had been born again.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, so our cousin had a pair, and I remember
Yeah.
her saying she straightened her hair, and we were like, me and Michelle always used to say, "Ugh, yeah, right, yeah, let's have a look." And she sent us a picture, or we went round or whatever.
We borrowed them.
Yeah,
we
that's
borrowed them,
right.
but I was
Something
we're
happened.
using them
Probably not
wrong,
pictures,
really.
to be
Everyone did. That's why everyone had these little lines in
Yeah,
their hair.
yeah, exactly. But I was using them with Blue Magic.
Oh,
So I put it on.
sizzling.
Honestly, so you put it on, it would go,
Yeah.
and it literally smoke, and you'd be like, yeah.
That's what you do with hot comb. That's
what-
basically what
yeah.
hot combing
It's
was.
ridiculous. Frazzled.
Jeez.
But
Bless your
then-
hair. That now we know why. What happened?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
just completely uneducated, just
Yeah.
don't know how to look after it. There's no way a Maya's gonna...
Yeah.
And it was no one's fault, because
It's
it's no one's fault.
generational.
But
No,
now
it
we know what
happens.
we know.
Yeah.
My
We
daughter's
did know
hair is
then.
going to be on point. Have
Yeah.
you
Well-
straightened your hair with GHDs?
Yeah. So sometimes, like the only time I will do it now is if I'm going to Louise to get my hair done.
Okay.
That's the only time I'll blow dry it straight,
Yeah.
put the GHDs through it,
So,
and then go to her and she'll do the rest.
yeah.
And that's the only time you'll see it straight. And then when it's time for a wash, it's just back to curly again.
Yeah.
Do you feel like your parents educated you well
No.
on being able to look up? That was a flat.
Quick.
No.
No.
No, I had no education
No.
at all. So it was literally, I remember from a young age really wanting the fringe.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously all your friends at school have got it.
Yeah, of course they
And
have.
my mum let me do it.
Yeah.
So I had the fringe, and my hair back then was naturally curly. So my fringe was just like that. It was horrendous.
Picture, please.
It was horrendous. There are no photo evidence, I'm afraid, for that, thank God. So I think I didn't really do anything with it. It was just up out of the way, just in a ponytail like this. I never had it out. I used to hate having my hair out because to me,
Yeah.
having a big afro out
was not acceptable, was it? No, I agree. Wasn't acceptable.
No, it was not the thing to do.
No, you're right. You're so right.
And all I wanted was to have long hair flowing down my back.
Oh my God, yeah.
And as a kid, I used to get my dressing gown and put it over my head and let it drape down.
I used to take my t-shirt off in the bathroom and let my t-shirt be here and then be like,
it's my hair.
Yeah, same. Oh,
Because
my
I
God,
couldn't get that feeling with my hair.
Because when we were younger, my mum used to put so much grease in our hair. I've got to admit though, our mum was really good. We
always used to have soft and free, because before Julie was Julie's, she was at the chemist.
It was a chemist down the
weren't
road.
she? And they had a little selection of products, and then she branched out from that to have Julie's.
And I think mum asked dad, like, how am I going to look after their hair? And I think my dad was like, you need to put some oil in it. So I think so my dad sort of helped my mum a little bit. But with us, I remember I wanted to be like my friends, and my mum would like really grease my hair down. I want to wear my hair down for school, which I never normally would do. And then I'd come out of school, I'd go and it would be like all greasy, like down here, and I'd run off in. I'd come out and it'd be up here. I'd come out. And all of a sudden, I used to find it weird. Like my hair would come out of my hairband. Like, because even though it was in a ponytail, all of a sudden it would come out. How did it come out of the hairband?
Because there's no root care. That's the problem.
Because if this comes over down, the root would just come out like this, and I'd come out half of it out the front. So strange, but I do remember those days, Leanne, putting the t-shirt.
And there was no product in my hair, so it was literally just water and gel. That was it. Water and gel.
Frizz Central.
Yeah, for a long time. And then I went through the braid stage. I remember getting it done for the first time. I had it all the way down to my back, and the school, it was like the first time they'd ever seen anything like it.
I remember when you had them braids.
And they got my parents in.
Did
and
they?
They said she's got to take it all out.
No.
And that had taken me all day. Yeah, my cousin had done my hair. They said for health and safety reasons she can't have her hair like that.
Stop.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So my dad said no, that's not happening. There's no way she's doing that. So they said, all right, the agreement was as long as it was tied back, then it was acceptable.
I do remember when you had them braids.
I bet you were doing that in the mirror in the bathroom.
Yeah. See how times have changed now.
I know.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Do you think the society today would accept that?
No.
No.
They wouldn't be allowed to do that now.
No way could they do that now.
Now that they're finally starting to relax, like, policy with hair and dreads and natural hair, because it is discrimination. I mean, but before it was about having a uniform, and men had to be very clean cut, and it was clean shaven, and no, skinheads, because you're going to the military, and certain things had to be. It was about uniform, and it's not about uniform anymore. And who is to say what is appropriate and what isn't appropriate, and which styles should and shouldn't be worn. It's not okay. So I'm glad that they're finally starting to do that, and people are calling people out on it finally.
Definitely.
Because you shouldn't have to conform. You shouldn't have to have your hair in a certain way just to be deemed professional.
But braids are part of your heritage, aren't they? Do you know what I mean? So that's so bad now when you think about how many years on, like. Yeah.
But you said about not being able to wear your hair out either. We know that stems from, where it comes from, and this, that, and the other. Yeah. But like, it's literally hair that comes out of your head. It's part of you. How is that not professional? Yeah. Tattoos and stuff like that now as well. Yeah. Finally, companies, depending on where you work, are starting to be okay with things like that as well, because it's a form of expression. It's individual. My tattoo doesn't stop me from doing what I need to do. Is a distraction for somebody else? Yeah. So is somebody's arse, someone's cleavage, but it's part of them as well. Yeah. So finally starting to allow people, to be who they are.
But I think it is more acceptable, especially like to be yourself more now, especially like with your talking about the hair thing, with you not wanting to wear it out. Because I used to feel like that when I was younger, not wanting to wear my hair out because nobody else did. Like nobody else I used to hate it because people used to always touch my hair and just be like, oh, get off. Like in assembly, like when we were younger, people would be pulling my hair at the back, and you'd get the young girls that were just playing with each other's hair, and I'd be like, don't touch my hair. Yeah. Like they could be queuing to play with my, please stop playing with your hair in assembly.
Someone done it to Maya.
I was about to say, it hasn't stopped. It's still
it hasn't stopped.
Yeah, it hasn't. It happens with Maya. Yeah. The amount of days I go in, her hair's a bun. Yeah. And she'll come out and there's no hairband in at all. And I'm like, what's happened to your hair? Oh, well, my friends wanted to do this style. Then we wanted to do this with my hair. And I'm like, just leave it.
Yeah. Don't touch it.
Don't touch it. But she lets them. She's
Leighton's been the same though. all day everyone's like, oh, can I touch your hair? I love your hair. It's so curly. All he wants is straight white hair.
Yeah.
Because he just wants people to leave his hair alone.
Yeah.
And him not to be different. But yeah, they're just
See, that element
constant.
of stuff's not changed. Like, not changed at all.
My daughter is about to turn 18 next month. She's never had it straightened or anything. She didn't even want me to put braids or anything into it until just a couple of years ago, because people always asked her, is her hair real? Because of her curl pattern and the way it is. And where she kind of grew up mainly in Texas was, it was if you had longer hair, it was because it was extensions or whatever. So she had the stigma about it.
Yeah.
So finally she kind of gave in and just wanted me to try some different things. And over the last few years we have tried different extensions, different braids. We did faux locks and different things.
Yeah.
And she looks amazing in all of them.
Yeah, she does.
She does.
But she still refused. She will never straighten it. I tried to straighten it for her prom.
Yeah.
I blow dried it out.
Yeah.
She washed it like 2 days later. Because it wasn't her. She said it made her head look big and she's like, it's too flat. And she likes it big. So I always try to instill in her that love of her natural hair from day one. I'm really, really glad that she
But
found
you're
that
amazing
love.
at hair.
Yeah, you are.
You are. And your knowledge is like
100%.
second to none.
Try telling them that at the time. Like, you're lucky you've got somebody who knows what they're doing.
I said that to
Oh,
her
yeah.
because when you braided my hair a couple of years ago, I said, oh, your mum was big in the game back in the day. And you were like, yeah, tell her how much I used to do black hair here. Tell her. And I was like, trust me, your mum was good. Like, you still is good. Like, you were it, Jo. Yeah.
Working at the salon and stuff, you'd have a few women that felt that, to bring their mixed kids in, to ask for help, to get knowledge. But a lot of women still felt like they were looked down on, or they shouldn't, or it's a dirty secret, they're not allowed to ask for help.
Yeah.
But there's so many people always just like, no, there's always someone to help you. It's better to ask and to get there to help. I still see a lot of me coming back to England specifically. Just recently I've seen a lot of once again should say white women, maybe they might be mixed down the line, because we know how hair is one of the strongest genes. It can jump generations, so you never know. But just super curly hair, and it's just once again, it's in the triangle and it's dry and it's not taken care of. And I'm like, there's still so many products out there and so much knowledge now, but some people just don't give a shit about their hair. And that's fine, that's fair enough. But when you're on the other side of it, you look at it, you're like, oh, let me get my hands on your hair.
Oh my god, literally, you should not have had them layers cut like that. Yeah, no, I get that. I think this sort of, I mean, it doesn't anger me or anything, but it's something I feel quite strongly about. That if you sort of, to marry or with a guy of whatever cultural background, you need to embrace what you're going to be given.
Of course.
Do you know what I mean? Like, having children with, a black man, whether they're African, Caribbean, whatever of descent, having children, you need to know what is going to come with that. And hair is one massive thing. Your child cannot be walking around with the driest hair.
Problem is that is an ignorant attitude on the mother's side. Quite frankly, it is the whole, if they don't care about their hair, if they've not really dealt with their hair, if hair's not a big thing to them, which 9 times out of 10 as a white woman it's not, until you get older, right? Or you do your own hair, and that's what it is. It's it doesn't matter, they're just a kid, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
because they're not in that child's skin and they don't have to deal with all
see
of
everybody
that.
else. You must look around and think, why is my child's hair like that? And then that young lad's got braids, or that. Do you know what I mean?
It's everything to me. When Amaya goes to play school, that's the one thing I get complimented on.
Yeah.
Oh my god, how do you have time to do her hair? Oh my god, her hair's so lovely. Oh my god, how did you do that? Oh my god, does she sit still? Yes, she does. Because from the day she was born, I had a little soft brush, a little baby brush, and I would just like tease her scalp. So she's so used to me touching her hair, and she knows hair basket, sit down, hair's got to be fresh for. Do you know what I mean? You're not going to go out with picky hair, no way. Because I just feel like, but I feel that that's a reflection on me that I haven't. Do you know what I mean?
And that goes back to what you dealt with as a child, and we choose the positives and the negatives from our childhood. So I mean, from our parents, the way we were raised. So,
have you ever had braids? This is the question.
Yeah, I have.
You have?
I have. When I was on holiday, our honeymoon, and we went and were pampered in the Maldives. It was lovely, and they gave us a massage, and then they did my head, and then all of a sudden she just started braiding my hair, and I was like, "What's she doing?"
Ask for it.
I didn't know. I didn't ask for it. It came out and it's all braided back. It wasn't full.
Did you love it though?
No.
Was
No,
it
I didn't. No, we had one meal out and then it came out the next morning. So yeah, but it went.
Has Leroy, with you and your kids, sort of steered you in the right direction of what to use product wise and stuff?
Yeah,
for that?
absolutely. But I think it's really hit and miss. So Leighton's got very different coarseness to Elise with hair. So like we're trying a lot of products and I'm trying to get my head around what to use, and obviously I'm learning as we go along. But different stages in their ages, their hair's changed massively. It's quite amusing because especially with Elise at the moment, she'll go to my mum, and there's mornings when I am a bad mum. She gets pushed out the door to a grandparent, and she's out the door with crazy hair, and then she'll come home and she'll have a cute half up, half down, typically white hairstyle, and then she'll go off to Leroy's mum, and she's got like multiple buttons, and it just completely changes her appearance. It's crazy, but it's so nice that she has that different aspect on how she can look.
Absolutely.
You hot? Go on, get the fan on. Get up, girl. Fan
I'm
on.
not getting up. I'll just squidge. Oh, there we go. That's better.
Oh, yeah, nice. Oh, it's nice.
It's not turning. Yeah, so we have kind of touched on race already, so yeah, it's probably good to kind of follow on to that. So I thought it'd be nice to talk about relationships, you know, and dating outside of your own race. So what kind of experiences has everyone kind of had with that? Has there been any challenges that anyone's had along the way?
For me, personally, no. I haven't had any come up against anything on either side with us. No, I don't think so.
I think in our family we're really conscious of it, and there's probably a few events that have happened where we've been conscious of it. So
really?
Can't remember where I was, what town I was in, but I was out with Leighton one day and we were walking along, he's holding my hand, and I saw these people walking towards me and they looked me up and down and then looked at him and looked back at me, and then as they just went past me I heard, "Wonder where she got that kid from."
Really?
And I was
You're
like,
joking? Oh, wow.
being a little bit like, F you, I was like, "He's mine," just shouted back at them. But I remember like even going into Suffolk, there's certain areas of Suffolk that me and Leroy just won't go to.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, we just won't go. Cause,
Even now?
Yeah, even now. I think because I've travelled so many places around the country for my work, I've been really super conscious of it.
Yeah.
For me, I think I'd become a little bit ignorant to seeing my surroundings. So Rob being a military man, he's always looking around. He's just kind of got that thing.
Yeah.
You do anyway. And it was moving to the States, and so I didn't realise, been in the States loads of times, lots of friends, blah blah blah. But living there, when we were moving to Florida, and we were only there a couple of weeks or so in Walmart, and there was a couple. We kind of crossed paths down the aisle and stuff, and they said something, and Rob he was so pissed off, and I was just nose blind to it. Do you know what I mean? And then a couple of times I'm like, I didn't see what you were saying. I didn't hear it.
Because I guess you'd come from
somewhere
Ipswich.
where it just wasn't. But then once again, I'm a white person in these situations. I hadn't seen things from the other perspective. Growing up, majority of my friends were mixed, so I wasn't seeing.
That's what I'm saying, because you came from here where we are quite diverse and we are quite accepting of to a certain point in our hometown here, to then go to something like that where you're just like
exactly. What? So I'm not gonna lie, in Florida, in that section, we did have quite a few issues with people. And you can just tell. And I think I had my flappers on. I still tried to.
Yeah, because you just think this, how... Yeah. What? Because you can't... Yeah. It's just so... It's ludicrous, isn't it?
I mean, I probably think I know the answer that you're going to tell me anyway. But would you say America is worse or the UK is worse?
Ooh, Jen, that's a question.
You know what? Because I think... like lots of comedians and stuff, and people have said online, at least in the States, you know who the racists are. They are upfront and personal.
Yeah. They're not
Over here, there a lot of them are in the shadows.
Oh, they're so undercover.
And that makes it a little bit dangerous, I think. That's all I have to say.
Yeah. And I remember before you told me that you experienced it, because obviously you'd done a lot of black hair, especially when you was in the UK. When you went over there, you didn't get accepted to even be able to do black hair, did you?
Well, it was even on the side because it's different licensing and stuff, but Well, just think about it, right? You see me coming in and, you know, we're making friends and we're talking and I'm telling you, this is what I do. You'd be like, okay.
Yeah.
Unless you've seen some proof or I've got an
Yeah.
Instagram account or something like, why would you believe me? You know,
yeah.
how many women back, how many
From another
hairdressers back?
country as well.
Exactly.
To add to it.
Yeah.
People still ask the question, oh, I didn't even know there were black people in England.
No.
No.
Oh, just a few years ago. Honest to God, there's black people in England? Oh, no.
Wow.
Honest to God, you'd be surprised.
I can't believe that.
Is going on? What?
So when I say to you, just like people are still surprised that there's black Irish. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, come on. There's just it's because people don't travel enough. People aren't moving around enough. They aren't experiencing other cultures and other countries. And seeing, or if they do, they go to Benidorm and they're like on the beach. And that's it.
Been on holiday.
Stay in the all-inclusive.
Yeah,
Don't
exactly.
leave, Don't
Just
go
go to the pool.
outside.
Yeah.
I just that's I think that's been one of the biggest problems in general is just there's not enough people travelling and there's not enough people keeping an open mind.
Okay, well, I think that's it for tonight. So if you can just follow, subscribe, and the question I've got for you is, are we better than the boys?
I think so. Yeah.
I do.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.